Hi friends, Stephanie here, and I'm back with more movie chatter. And what I have for you today is a movie community video. And what I mean by that is my friend Tim over at Tim Talks Talkies put out a call to the movie community, and what he asked us to do is put together our dream 4K box set of movies. He said to pick 5 movies that if they were given a 4K release, put in a box set, it would be a day one guilt-free purchase on our part. So you could go with a director, you could go with an actor, you could go with a theme. People have done all kinds of things. So the person that I picked, or what I picked for my box set, is the director SydneyLumet. And if you're familiar with SydneyLumet, or if you're not, you might be familiar and you don't even know it, because his career it spanned 50 years and 44 movies. So he has quite a filmography behind him. And I just want to show you some of the things that he has done that you might be familiar with that aren't in my box set, maybe because they already have a 4K release, or maybe they just missed making the box set. The first one is Serpico. It just got a nice 4K release from Kino Lorber. Also, and this is so popular, the next 3 are Criterions, and since we're getting close to the sale, people are asking for Criterion recommendations, so I thought this might be a good way to work in some Criterion recommendations. But this one is in the Criterion on Blu-ray, but it did just get a 4K release from Kino, and it is, of course, 12 Angry Men. A very, very popular title when people are making recommendations for pickups during the sale. Another one by SydneyLumet that's a really great film is called Failsafe. Also in the collection, it is a Blu-ray. And this one stars Marlon Brando, and this is a great one. It's called The Fugitive Kind. So those are some good recommendations if you want to pick up, any films for the upcoming July sale. If any of those are on your list, you can't go wrong. He's also done other films like Prince in the City with Treat Williams that just recently got a Blu-ray release, and that just missed my list. But there's so many great films to choose from. So I have 5, and maybe I cheated a little and threw a 6th one in because I saw James from 20th and 21st do it, and also my friend John over at Plat X2. John, you cheated also because you saw James do it, and they both put 6 movies in, so I have a 6th movie. My first one here is actually the last movie that SydneyLumet did. This is the Shout Select version. It stars Philip Seymour Hoffman and Ethan Hawke, Marissa Tomei, and Albert Finney in Before the Devil Knows You're Dead. It is a fantastic film, and really, really great stuff. It's a crime film. Philip Seymour Hoffman and Ethan Hawke are brothers, and they decide to rob a jewelry store. Unfortunately, the jewelry store is owned by their family, so you can see how quickly things can go wrong. It seems like it's an easy in and out type of job, but nothing is ever as easy as it would seem. So if you haven't seen Before the Devil Knows You're Dead, definitely check this one out. It's a fantastic film. This one a lot of people know. We just talked about it. If you don't know, I do live streams over with my friend Cinema Dave Media over on his channel. Every Saturday, 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, we do live streams. And I will link him down below. He's only 30 subscribers away from 3,000. So if you haven't subbed to Dave, please go give him a sub. Great channel, great friend of mine, so much movie knowledge. And we actually just talked about this film this past Saturday because we were talking about summer films. And it is Al Pacino in Dog Day Afternoon. I mean, this is such a classic crime film. It is based on real events, and we have 2 guys that go in. Al Pacino's the main guy, and John Cazale. Tell me how to pronounce his name in the comments. Is it Cazale or Cazale? They rob a bank, and it took place in Brooklyn. It was a really, really hot day in, I believe, 1972, and this is their story. But if you haven't seen Dog Day Afternoon, please, please give it a watch. It's so good. And what we were talking about on the stream is how much this would benefit from a 4K release. So I would love to see this in my 4K box set. The next one stars Rod Steiger, and he gives the performance of a lifetime, and it is called The Pawnbroker. And Rod Steiger plays a man. He plays a pawnbroker who has a shop, he is also a survivor of Nazi concentration camps where not all of his family was so lucky, and we see him, and he's a very stoic man. He kind of just goes about his business, he goes about his days, he does his work, but you can tell there are things that he is carrying around with him that are just absolute nightmares. And through the film you see kind of like you see flashbacks, and what it is him kind of reliving the horrors that he went through during his time in the concentration camps. And you can just see that this is a man who is on the verge of absolutely coming apart and just coming undone. This moved me to tears. This was an amazing, amazing movie, and what a performance by Rod Steiger. If you haven't seen it, I just can't recommend it enough. This had to be in my box set. Very deserving of a 4K release as well. Now this next one, Still Mad as Hell, stars Faye Dunaway, William Holden, Peter Finch, and Robert Duvall in Network. And Network to me was kind of, it's listed, I believe, as a drama, but to me it's kind of part drama, and then it's a little bit of satire towards, you know, news reporting. And in the times we're living in, I thought this would be a perfect addition to a box set. It's so deserving of a 4K. You could really benefit from a 4K. And basically we have a newscaster, Howard, and the network, they kind of want to get rid of him because they're like, you know, his ratings aren't great and whatnot. And you know, he's really kind of not bringing to the channel what we want. And he starts doing these rants. And he finds out that, you know, he's going to be gone, and he makes all kinds of threats of what he's going to do. I'm not going to get into it because I don't want to ruin it. I want you to watch this. But he starts doing these rants, and the public goes wild for his rants and his just honesty and his candor when he's just, you know, spilling his guts basically to the public every day in every broadcast that he has left. And they absolutely love him. And now his ratings are going through the roof, and they don't know what to do with him. So one of the things that he says is he's mad as hell and not going to take it anymore, and people start screaming it out their windows. It's an iconic line in the movie. So if you haven't seen Network, please look at it, give it a look, and it really, really deserves a 4K upgrade, and I would love to see it in a box set of SydneyLumet films. Now this next one had to be in here because it stars the late, great River Phoenix. Basically what it is his parents, his father's played by Judd Nelson, and his mother is Christine Lahti, or is it, yeah, Lahti, L-A-H-T-I. Is it Lahti or Lahti? I don't know. Anyway, they are anti-war activists, and they've been on the run for years because of some trouble that they got into. And since he was a child, he's been on the run with his family. Like, they just have to pick up and go. So he can't really have a normal childhood. He doesn't have normal roots. He can't make long-term friendships. It's really affecting his life. And he gets to a point where he decides that he doesn't want to be on the run with his family anymore. And he says, you know, you guys can go. I'm staying here, and I'm going to stay with the connections that I've made. It's a fantastic performance by everyone, River Phoenix especially, and it is a fantastic movie. Really, really good. And this is a nice addition. It's from Warner Archives, but I would love to see it get a 4K. And I'd love to see some special, extra features, special features. Maybe going a little bit more in depth about what it was like to work with River Phoenix and knowing River Phoenix and whatnot. So I think it would have really benefit from being in a box set and having a 4K release. So if you haven't seen Running on Empty, definitely give it a watch. And now this last one, this is my cheat one, and I couldn't leave it out because I had so much fun with this one. It's based on real events. It stars Vin Diesel, and it's Vin Diesel like you've never seen him before. And it is based on, it's called Find Me Guilty, based on the true story of Fat Jack DeNorcio? Yeah, I guess that's how you say it. Anyway, members of the Lucchese crime family are on trial. And basically what they want is they want this, the Fat Jack to turn on his cohorts. They want him to become a rat. And what he decides to do is he decides that he is going to be his own defense lawyer. And this just, everything that could go wrong goes. It's a wild, wild courtroom scene. And he is so good. He is so funny. He is so on point. And this really happened. This is based on true events. And it became the longest trial in United States courtroom history. I don't know if it still is, but at the time of the, when this was made, at the time, it was the longest trial in American courtroom history. So that is pretty amazing. And this is just so good. And like I said, it's Vin Diesel like you've never seen him before. It is just so, so good. So if you haven't seen Find Me Guilty, it says sometimes the best defense is a wise guy. He's fantastic. Everybody in the movie is fantastic. And it's really a very interesting story. So that's my cheat film. That's my cheat film. Those are my films that I picked for my dream 4K box set featuring the films of Sidney Lumet. And then I just thought I'm going to throw these in because, most box sets, one of the appeals of box sets are special features. I would love to see this one. It's still in the wrapper, but I've seen it many times. It's called By Sidney Lumet, and it is a conversation with Sidney Lumet about his career, about his life, everything, and it's really, really good. If you haven't seen it and you like documentary interview style films, definitely check out By Sidney Lumet. It's very, very good, and it would make a great addition to the box set to have this in there as a special feature. And the other one, I don't know if a lot of people heard about this one because we did talk about it on the live stream, and I don't think Dave had even heard of it. And Dave pretty much knows, he knows a lot of films, but he wasn't familiar with this one. It's called The Dog, and it's from Draft House Films, but this is the guy, it's the real guy from Dog Day Afternoon, the real guy that robbed the bank. And he is quite a character. This guy is quite a character. But they follow him around and talk to him, and he is so proud of what he did in that film and the film they made about him and all the events. So I would love to see this as a special edition in a 4K box set of Sidney Lumet films. So that would be my other choice. And, you have to have special features. Why buy a box set without special features, even though we've all done it? So I want to thank Tim for making such a great suggestion, and this was a lot of fun to do. It was hard to narrow it down to one thing, but because there's just so many good films and genres and directors and actors, so many things you can do. But I had a lot of fun doing this, so I want to thank Tim, and I'm going to link him down in the description as well. Go over and check out his channel. He's got a great collection. He's a great guy, great part of the film community. So I want to thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed this. I hope you got some films that you can watch. Maybe things that you hadn't heard of before. And check out the filmography of Sidney Lumet. He's great. If you did enjoy this, please give me a thumbs up. Leave me comments, suggestions, recommendations. Hit the bell notification. And if you like this kind of stuff, consider subscribing. I'm going to have some collection videos coming up. Maybe a haul. I know I'm not doing a lot of hauls, but I might have a haul for you. And I have a cool couple of unboxings coming up either tomorrow or the next day. So stay tuned. But I'm going to go out and I have to give my dogs baths and haircuts because that's the kind of day it is here. So for now, that's a wrap.